Interesting news today from the Indianapolis Colts, the signing of Jermaine Pratt, who played linebacker for Lou Anarumo down in Cincinnati, waived by Cincinnati, signed by the Raiders, released by the Raiders. Now he's coming to Indianapolis, and they're going to see if he's got any football left in him. That's going to be kind of an interesting thing to watch for on Sunday. And then we got some injury updates from Shane Steichen. Kenny Moore, they're going to see if he can practice this week. It would be great if he could get back out on the field at that nickel spot, because Mike Hilton being hurt, they have no depth at that position whatsoever. So getting Kenny Moore back would be huge. Alec Pierce practicing again. Hopefully he can clear protocol. And Grover Stewart practicing today. That's a big deal. Hopefully that bicep is healed or will heal before Sunday, because his presence absolutely huge. Here's Shane Steichen.
I'll start out with just some injury updates. Alec Pierce, he's still in the protocol, but he will practice today. Grover Stewart will practice today. Kenny Moore, we're going to work him out here on the field, see how he can practice today. Also, you guys saw we just signed Jermaine Pratt, linebacker. Excited about him, excited about his talents, what he can bring to this football team. Get him through this week of practice, see how it goes.
So he didn't travel with the Raiders to that game. Was there anything noteworthy with that?
I don't have anything for you.
What do you think you could bring to your defense?
Veteran experience. Been in Lou's system, so obviously very familiar with what we do defensively. But from what I've heard, very smart player, physical football player. So excited to have him.
Coach, Anthony Richardson was able to get into the game last week.
Mm-hmm.
Are there things behind the scenes that you're asking him to do, or just how is he kind of progressing by not being the starter?
Yeah, he's progressing well. I think with everything, right? The meetings and the fundamentals and the details on the practice field, and continue to grow and develop in that area. Like I said, he's made great strides in those areas, and he's continued to do that.
Is there anything specific you're looking to see from Anthony?
Same thing, just growth. Obviously, just practicing. He's doing a great job running the look teams as well, giving the defense great looks. Then just continue to study and prepare like crazy.
With Jermaine, is this something like Mike Hilton or X, where you can, because they know Anarumo's defense, they can kind of just play right away?
Yeah, we'll see how the week goes, but yeah, obviously he's got a lot of familiarity with it.
Shane, what was the reason behind Badgley winning the tryout?
He was very accurate. Obviously, he's had some success in this league. Obviously, a familiar face here. He's been here. I had a chance to spend 3 years with him at the Chargers. I was with him from 18 to 20. But very accurate kicker. Had a hell of a workout, so excited to have him.
Shane, you guys are facing a team that's coming out three heartbreaking losses. Knowing that, what's your level of concern seeing a desperate team like this come in on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's a hell of a football team. Like you said, they've lost 3 games right at the last second, and obviously they could be a team that's 5-0, and they're very talented in all 3 phases. Got a lot of respect for those guys over there. Defensively, Buda Baker's, as good as they come on the back end, and Josh Sweat was around him. In Philly, he can rush the passer really well. They're very multiple in their scheme on defense, do a lot of different things, give you a lot of different looks. There, and then obviously the quarterback's a hell of a football player that can run around and make a ton of plays. McBride, the tight end, hell of a player, creates a lot of separation. Same thing with Marvin Harrison. So we're excited for the opportunity, though. Just we got to be laser focused, going into this week.
Shane, you've had the unique situation of winning, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 games by lopsided margins, and within that, I wonder, like, there's small decisions you have to make even on that side of the sport, right? Like when you take JT out, those kinds of things. How have you kind of worked through some of that? Good problem to have, but like, are there little things you try to think about?
Yeah, there's absolutely. I talked to certain coaches. I've had long conversations with Tony Dungy about those type of things and when to take certain guys out. And those conversations have been really good. Obviously, you seek advice from guys that have done that at a high level for a long time when those situations occur. And just a lot of respect for Tony on how he sees it. And so those thoughts are going through my head during the game too, and thinking about him and what he would do in that situation. It's been good though. Like I said, you gotta make the right call at the right time on taking certain guys out if the games are like that, which are very rare.
Lou mentioned that there are situations where it's like, all right, well, we got some good stuff in the game plan. Maybe we hold this back for another week. I don't know. Do you think about those things?
Sometimes, but I also think like,
But
hey,
don't also not take your foot off the gas too, right?
yeah, there's no question. There's no question about that. But it also is like, well, I don't know if this play is going to fit next week. So
Okay.
let's get this thing called. It's probably might have a chance to be pretty good. So those thoughts go through your head too.
What about Pittman has been so valuable to this offense on first down specifically?
I just think I've been saying it all since I've been here. His consistency. He always finds a way to create the separation. The contested catches that he makes are incredible, and then his yards after catch. He's so physical. Even when we throw him something short underneath, he makes a guy miss, runs a guy over, gets a couple other extra yards. And I think that kind of sets a tone for our offense too. Just his physicality and how he plays the receiver position is a big plus for us.
And then to jump in on those first downs, he's only had 3 runs that have been for negative or 0 yards. This year, just even his ability to get 1 or 2 yards if nothing's really there, how important has that been on first down?
It's huge. I think when you got a guy that can create when not a lot's there, it definitely helps your offense stay on track and not getting you in those long yardage situations. So that's always a point of emphasis for us going each and every week is staying out of negative plays. And when something's not there, being smart, but also trying to make a play when you got a chance.
You really stress the complementary football all off season long.
Yeah.
Is this what you envision?
Yeah, it's been good. And, the thing is, it's just a reminder to everybody, all the time, team meetings, like it's one day at a time. That's really what it is. And you got to go do it every single day in practice, and you got to go do it every Sunday.
Why did Mitchell play Sunday? Or was that the one weekend?
Yeah, we're working through that right now. But like I said, we just continue to work and grind and go through it and have a great week of practice and a great week of preparation.
Shane, with the complementary football, but also the balance you've got on offense with 5-6 guys involved. As a head coach, do you have to go to guys, receivers by nature are selfish at some level, to say, listen, your time will come, and you understand their desire to be more involved?
Yeah, there's no question. I think, that's a position, obviously, that if they don't get the ball, they want to affect the game. And I think, just explaining their roles at the start of the season when I go through every person on the roster in the team meeting of understanding, being selfless. And I think it's been a great so far, obviously, through the first, 5 weeks is the back and forth and everybody's kind of on the same page. Everyone understands their role, and it's kind of been spread around pretty good, throughout the first 5 weeks. Sometimes I'm always like, hey, this guy might have 12 catches and you might have 2 the next week, it might flip, but I feel like it's been pretty balanced so far. And if we can continue to do that and stay on rhythm in the pass game and the run game and be complementary in that way, it'll be good.
One quick follow-up. You knew what you were getting with Tyler Warren, but at any level are you surprised he's giving you this after 5 games or not? He's a rookie.
He is a rookie, but the skill set's off the charts, and the way he's playing right now, his physicality, understanding what we're doing, the feel for the game. Those are some things, the instincts. Those are the hardest thing to find in players. You can coach the details and fundamentals and get them better, but the really good ones that just understand it have great instincts, and that's what he's got. He's got phenomenal hands. So yeah, it's been great to have.
When you play a staff that you obviously have plenty of background with, do you find that a weird week? Do you find it anything that you overthink or oh geez, are they gonna remember this from Philly?
They'll probably remember some things just like we'll remember some things, but try not to overthink it. It's been a couple of years now, and obviously we're evolving, they're evolving. Things change over time too, just words you use and all those different things. So like I said, I got a lot of respect for those guys over there.
Does Jonathan do a pretty good job of disguising what he wants to do coverage-wise?
Yeah, I think they do a phenomenal job. I think they're very multiple in what they do. Got different looks that we got to be prepared for. But yeah, I think they do a great job of that.
They obviously had a guy drop the ball to the goal line too.
Yeah.
Did Jonathan reach out to you at all about that?
He did not.
Is Jalen Jones on track?
We're just relying on the doctor still. We're still working.
So he won't practice this week.
He won't. Yeah.
That Carlisle as well.
So there's Shane Steichen, and this is getting to be kind of routine these Wednesdays after a win, and see how he's dealing with it and how he deals with the team as they process this level of solid play leading to a positive record and being tied atop the AFC South. This weekend's game, like he said, you know what? We tend to look at the Arizona Cardinals and see the 2-3, see the last 3 games where they have lost by a combined 5 points. all on last-second field goals. They are finding ways to lose, and we tend to be a little bit dismissive of them. Shane Steichen is not.